Here we are in February 2011. Let's back up a little bit back to whenever I filmed you last.
Okay.
What was your cancer like at that point? Tell me what your situation was.
Well, the cancer at that point in time, they had controlled with surgery. I'd been through 3 different surgeries.
Where?
Twice on my back and 3 times in my groin area, where they removed the lymphatic glands and surrounding tissue that was infected with the melanoma.
Now, but the melanoma was pretty well localized, wasn't it?
Right. It was very localized. It was all either on my right leg and right groin area, and that was about it. The spot they removed from my back, they had to excise a larger area to clean it all out of there. But the surgeon was really confident that he had removed all the melanoma from my back region and my groin.
Now, each time you have surgery, they are removing
chunks of skin
large
and
parts of
body
tissue.
parts that are needed.
Yes.
And
you need lymph nodes.
Right.
You need that tissue.
Right. The lymph nodes, from what I understand, is the way your body erects defenses against diseases.
Yeah.
And without having them lymph nodes in my right part of my body, the doctor had told me I have to really watch insect bites and getting scratches and so forth, because I'd be really susceptible to infection. Where the melanoma reappeared at after me stopping treatment was on my right leg.
You made the decision to stop the interferon,
right,
and just use the cannabis therapy and diet, correct?
Right.
Okay. What exactly were you doing at that time for yourself?
Well, I was using a extract of cannabis. They call it a full cannabis extract, and it was like a paste. And I would rub that paste directly on the melanoma that was present on my skin, topically. And then I would actually ingest some too, 3 to 4 times a day, which I would say ranged anywhere from 4 drops to 8 drops under my tongue, and then I'd swish it down with a glass of purified water. And it seemed to have the effect that every 7 or 8 days, I would see the melanoma on my skin break apart and fall off.
Wait a minute. Now you're saying that the melanoma was dying.
Right. But then I would also see it regrow within a week's time. So I kind of felt like the cannabis was killing the tumor on the surface, but it wasn't able to get to the root of the problem. And by ingesting it, I felt that I was actually boosting my immune system to protect me against further melanoma developments. I know that my oncologist was quite excited about the progress that it was causing on the surface melanoma. And at that point in time, she recommended that I go to St. Louis U and work with the 2 professors up there that were working on cures or treatments for melanoma.
So you were actually staying ahead of the cancer at that point in time, but you were looking for the actual cure. You wanted to be free of the cancer.
Right. And when I went up to see the doctors up there at St. Louis University, the one study was they wanted to inject me with the herpes virus, saying that the herpes virus would kill the cancer, but then I'd have to learn to live with the herpes. And I told the doctor that I wasn't interested in getting another disease. I was looking to get rid of a disease. So they referred me to the other professor, who started me on TB injections, or tuberculosis injections, which he would inject it into each tumor on my leg, and would do that repeatedly over a 6-week period. And then they went in for surgery to remove the melanoma that supposedly the TB virus had killed the roots of. So
people understand that this wasn't just TB. This was actually like a
the tine shot, the TB tine shot that you receive as a kid.
Right. So it's a benign form of tuberculosis.
Right. And what the thesis was behind it for the professor was that it would erect defenses in my immune system to fight the TB and kill the cancer at the same time. I know that after his injections, I would actually run a fever for 2 or 3 days and feel like I had the flu-like symptoms, and then it would go away. And I was really thinking that this doctor knew what he was doing. He was cited as being St. Louis's finest physician when it came to dealing with melanoma, for the surgical aspect and for the studies that he was working on. And I received all these treatments without any painkillers, which was, it was very painful. The treatments were.
They didn't give you any kind of topical anesthetic whatsoever?
There was no topical anesthetic whatsoever, and he would actually even use his scalpel and a burning chemical to seal the wounds where the melanoma was removed from. And he was doing all of this without a painkiller for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him on my last visit that there was just no way I could do this anymore without painkillers. And he refused me any more treatment at that time. And I thought that it was basically mutual. I was tired of the injections. I had seen the melanoma actually spread to larger and larger areas on my leg. The surgery that they did on me at the hospital, I was in for 5 days, and some of their practices I found less than professional at that hospital. And I went home after 5 days, waiting for a nurse to check me out, which the nurse never checked me out or signed a release paperwork, but she said I could leave at 5. They still had an IV in my arm at 5 o'clock that evening, which I removed myself. Put a piece of tissue paper with tape on the area of my arm where the IV had been, and asked for my wheelchair so I could go home. And they said that it'd be a while longer before they sent me home. Well, I was already feeling pretty much pain from the surgery, and not having any pain medication available to me. I told the wife to go ahead and pull the car up to the front door and that I would walk down to her, and which I did do. I was on I can't remember which floor of the hospital I was on, but I remembered it was quite a walk to the elevators and then the ride down to the main floor and then to the front door. It took me about a half hour to cover that distance.
Okay, tell me, what was the name of this hospital?
St. Louis University.
This is St. Louis University. I mean,
Yeah.
this is their oncology department.
Right, their oncology department.
What is the doctor's name?
The doctor's name was Eddie Shea, and he was the professor that was in charge of the studies. And then he had an assistant professor too, which I don't recall the name of. I only ever had 1 or 2 conversations with him.
Now, how long did you undergo these treatments, these TB injections?
Probably 7 or 8 weeks. After surgery, my doctor, Dr. Shea, said that he was going on vacation for 3 weeks and he would see me when he got back from vacation. And I was, at home from the hospital. The stitches were all still in me, and I came back in to see him in 3 weeks, and he shook his head and didn't like what he was seeing. And I actually had a skin infection going on, which he didn't bother to tell me about. And I told him, before you do any more surgery on me, I need to have pain medication to control the amount of pain, because I would just scream during the sessions and cry, and I mean, they could hear all the way out in the waiting room. That's how bad it was. And the doctor refused any pain medication for me. And at that point in time, we both decided that treatments with him had went far enough, and he washed his hands of the affair. The following week, I had an appointment with my dermatologist, and she's seen the surgery sites that they had done at St. Louis U, and wanted to know what doctor had performed this surgery. And I told her, and she did know of this Dr. Shea, and thought that he was a good surgeon, but he had also left me with a skin virus, and they didn't address it with antibiotics, which was the first thing that my dermatologist did, was put me on antibiotics for my skin, which helped clear up the skin virus. And she put me on a skin cream that I was to use to help clear it up too. And I still see my dermatologist about once every 2 weeks, because she keeps progress, an eye on the progress of the melanoma with me.
So, since the interferon treatments, the cancer has progressed significantly.
Significantly, yes. Basically, they give you a year to live when you're diagnosed with melanoma without treatment. And with treatment, they approximately give you 2 years to 2.5 years. And because I wasn't able to complete the interferon treatments, my odds dropped considerably at that point. Even though my oncologist did agree that the interferon treatments were not being effective against this type of melanoma. That is the only treatment that they was allowed to give me.
Okay, when back the last time that we spoke and you were having the interferon treatments, where was the cancer again?
It was on my right leg, right thigh actually, in 2 spots.
And now, in the course of this period of time, how has the cancer progressed?
I have well over 500 tumors now.
And where are they at?
They're located from approximately this area on my right leg up to about this high on my side, and wraps almost virtually all the way around my leg. It's in my groin area and on my testicles. So, I mean, it's progressed to the point where I have trouble with body functions. That's as far as eating or even going to the bathroom. I can't usually sit for very long. I spend most of my days laying down because it's more comfortable.
What kind of medications, conventional medications, do they have you on?
Right now they have me on no conventional treatments at all for melanoma.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they've the dermatologist is watching the progress of the disease and recommending things like vinegar baths or bleach baths to help keep down the skin viruses that I am getting associated with melanoma. And that's about it. They put me on fentanyl patches for the pain plus morphine. I still medicate with cannabis 4 to 5 times a day with the oil. And I do vaporize 2 to 3 times a day also. Because I'd much rather do that than take the morphine. The morphine has really been hard on me.
But where do you go from here?
I'm to the grave. That's the only thing I have left. That's my only options left now, is to watch this disease progress to that point. They've offered me hospice, which I've turned down so far because I want my wife to take care of me. I don't want a stranger to take care of me or to see me in my weak moments.
I understand.
But you know, right now I'm doing everything that there is. The only thing that's left to me is the cannabis treatments and the bleach baths. I went and seen a surgeon this past week who's talking about doing complete removal of the tumor and then doing a skin graft from my left leg onto my right leg. He said it won't cure the cancer, but he said it'll give me more time to fight it, which he said it could give me up to 2 years.
Are you seriously considering this?
I'm seriously considering it, yeah. Even though they're saying that I'm going to be in a great deal of pain. Yeah. And I would probably spend 7 days in the hospital when they do this treatment, so. But it's like it's the only thing I have left, you know, and I have a beautiful grandbaby I want to watch grow up. And I have 1 daughter and 2 adopted daughters. And they both got kids too, and I don't want to miss that part of life. And to be told that this melanoma wasn't caused by my exposure to the sun, that it was caused by my exposure to chemotherapy drugs.
During your
during my first bout with cancer, which was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that the chemotherapy drugs beat my system down to the point where melanoma was allowed to enter the body, and there I am. This is why I'm here now to do this interview with you, because I feel like this is probably the last interview that I'm going to get the word out that cannabis has been my best drug to use in this fight, and I see the results from it. It's the only thing that's keeping this melanoma in check now, and I say that because they haven't found it on any of my vital organs. they've only found it on my skin. So that tells me the cannabis oil that I've been ingesting on a daily basis is doing its job. Because otherwise it would be somewhere else.
You just need more of it.
I need more of it. I can't afford to buy any more of it.
And the thing that's such a terrible shame about it is that you are more fortunate than tens of thousands of Americans who don't have any access at all.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I feel like I have 6 to 8 weeks left. It's February 11th now, and I hope to see April 20th. I really do. And that's what I'm shooting for right now. That's my goal, is to still be here in April. So, that's about all I can tell you, Mark. I'm doing the best I can. That's all I got.
Me too.
Thank you.